Uh, I will start with a very, 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 very wonderful statement that I heard from a very wonderful leader. And he said, United Democratic Party has never left anything wrong to go unchallenged in this country. United Democratic Party has always directed the jurisprudence of this country, Gambia. United Democratic Party has always shown to the Gambia how the constitution should work. We have not lost anything because the petition is dismissed not based on merits, but mere technicality. We therefore should be proud of ourselves for what we have done and will continue to do for the country. These are the wise words from our party leader, Honorable Lawyer Usenu A.N.M. Durbo. He said we should be proud of ourselves, for we have not lost anything because the petition is dismissed based on technicality, not based on merit. I am proud of myself, my fellow UDP brothers and sisters, in extension, my fellow countrymen. I am proud of myself today. I am not discouraged. I am not bitter. I am just flabbergasted, and I'm just wondering why this happens. It is not a surprise to me, fellow countrymen, because the opposite side, the NPP side, President Barrow and his people, knows the evidence that we have. They know it. If they don't know exactly, but they have presumptions, they have made some presumptions because of what they have done during the registration. We have evidences that could set a precedent in that country, and that could be a surprise, a bigger one in that country, not only for Gambia, but for the whole of Africa at large. They know the evidences that we have. Therefore, they will not let it to be discussed in that courtroom. They will not let the Supreme Court to allow us to present our evidences and our witnesses. They won't. The only bet for them is, let us try, the petition is dismissed based on technicalities, not based on merit. Because if we go on merit, believe me, if we go on merit, the judgment of this case will really surprise a lot of people in that country, not only in that country. But you see, the country belongs to all of us. That is my fervent belief. It is my fervent belief that the country belongs to me, to you, your brothers and sisters, mothers and fathers, mine as well. It is our country. It belongs to us. It is a belief that I have in my heart, not today. I don't know. And it is very strong in me that country, Gambia, that belongs to you and me, and that belongs to all of us. It belongs to all the citizens. And I'm very, very respectful of every foreigner in that country. And I'm quite so. The markets, the hospitals, the roads, our telecommunications, our businesses, our ports, they did not differentiate who is UDP and who is NPP, and who is DOI and who is any other party. They recognize only one person, that is the person who is living in the Gambia, in that country. This is what our markets recognize. This is what our hospitals recognize. This is what our roads recognize. So, If United Democratic Party has always been fighting for the right thing to happen in that country, even though we happen to be always on the receiving side and the negative receiving side. Our leader and our supporters, our militants, they fought for the country since 1996. They said the Gambia should regain the dignity that the Gambia lost not only since 1994, but since 1965. Why do I say that? Today in my Facebook, I said, a friend of mine told me, we were just talking on telephone, he said, my brother, cheating pays. I said, no, cheating does not pay. He said, it pays. You see what happened? You are cheated, they brought light. I said, that cheating will be rectified. He said no. But today, after seeing that comment that the UDP petition is being dismissed because of technicality, I was leaning to believe that cheating pays. And I was asking you people, does it? Some people say no. Some people still believe, no, cheating does not pay. And I believe the country, the nation, is cheated. It's cheated. Many people will not understand. Some people or most of the people will understand that I mean that we are cheated in this election. Yes, I believe that this election is a cheat. I believe that the United Democratic Party has won this election. I believe that. Still now, until now, I believe it. Because I knew, at least I didn't know all the evidences. Because I knew what our legal team, the evidences, the proofs that our legal team has in hand, and they were going to present that to the Supreme Court judges. I didn't know all, but I knew most of it. And I knew if the case is discussed, is argued based on merits, we are going to win that case. And the jurisprudence, the Supreme Court will set a precedent in that country, and that is going to annul all the cheating that our political leaders, our government has been doing since 1965. I am telling you, I believe that the country is cheated. Can you imagine a country of 2 million people? Believe me, a medical and health, a minister of health, that in that minister of health that cannot provide medicine and good health care for our country, but they can embezzle over 140 million Gambian dollars and distribute it between themselves. Is that not a cheat? You go to the hospital, you pay, you buy your own gloves. You go to the hospital, you have to buy your own medicine. Is that not a cheat? How is all those things, how has that all happened? It's because our government over governments are being controlled by the mafias because they are enriching themselves, and they will do everything to make sure the power stays. And that reminds me of Barack Obama once says, the people in power will never give power voluntarily. We have to fight for it. We have to demand it, not only demanding it, but fight for it to get it. Those in power will never, ever give that power voluntarily. This is the truth. This is the right thing, this is the truth. My fellow countrymen, my fellow UDP members, don't be discouraged. Don't be disappointed. And don't give up. Your cries have been heard by the leadership. Your cries have been heard not only by the leadership, but every genuine citizen of that country who wants that country to go forward. And those cries have been listened and understood. And one day, believe me, one day, those cries will be addressed. There are people who are happy. Adama Barrow won. Yes, it's not a problem. They have a cause to rejoice, to be happy. But did Gambia win? Never. Let's look at the TRRC. Let's look at the formula that they are using for reconciliation. Any reconciliation formula has to start with appeasing the victims of that nation, appeasing the victim of that reconciliation. The formula, every formula starts from there. You first appease the victims. How do you appease them? That depends on how you face the whole issue. There are people who lost their lives. There are people who lost their loved ones. There are people who lost their properties. There are people who lost their physical health, their mental health. Those people cannot and will never get those lost back. But at least, we can make them understand and feel that the government of the day, this government which was brought to power because of those victims, has done and is doing enough to make so the victims actually really realize that they've been put into consideration. This is where every formula of reconciliation starts. Throughout the whole world. Not only Gambia, throughout the whole world. If there should be a reconciliation, that means some people have been aggressed. That means some people have been wronged. That means something wrong has happened to a group of people or a society. And where you start this reconciliation is by appeasing those victims. This is where you start. When you start from the victims, you appease them. Then you can talk to the nation and tell the nation, let us accept each other as brothers and sisters. What has happened has happened. We can never make it unhappen. But we can forgive. And we have to make so. The aggressors, the people who aggress, the people who did wrong, has to come out and apologize and seek for the forgiveness of the victims. This is where every reconciliation starts. This is the formula for reconciliation. But you cannot allow the perpetrators to be walking in the society free, without remorse, without even accepting that something wrong went wrong, something wrong has happened in that society. You leave them to work freely. In the midst of the victims, when there are some victims who doesn't even have a wheelchair to be able to move, a correct wheelchair to be able to move from one place to another, and you think that is a good formula? This is why I said the country is being cheated. The country has been cheated. Only few people will understand. Some will understand it as I said. They will understand it like, the election is cheated. This is bigger than the country's problem, is bigger than this election. But we shall live to see whether that cheat will pay. We shall live to see. For me, I accept my leadership, their wisdom. Honorable 𝐷𝐶𝐻, he said we should be proud of ourselves for what we have accomplished, and we will continue to do. Not for anybody, but for the country. I will do it for it. And I will not do a selection. When I'm doing anything, I will not do it because of selective justice. Whatever I have done for the country, from my service in the military, was all for the nation, the country, Gambia, our homeland. I have done it for them. And whatever I am doing in politics, I am doing it for the country. I will never insult anybody. I will never call anybody a bad name. I will never call a citizen, a brother of that country with a name that I will regret. I will never accept the extremes, both left and right. What I will do and what I have been doing is for the nation, for the country. And I remain to do that. I will continue to do that. But Gambia, I look at Facebook, some of them, they surprise me. Caricaturing and mugging a wonderful and very important judicial steps in our jurisprudence. They were looking at it, writing and laughing. But it's for all of us. That country, Gambia. Let's see if the cheating will pay. Since 1965, you and I know nothing is working in that country. Nothing is working in that country. Nothing. $140 million if people, citizens of this country who are being paid by us, we the citizens, can embezzle that amount of money and divide it between themselves, and they are still working in that government. They are still in that country. You telling me something is working? If our sovereignty is at stake, our sovereignty is at stake. You all know what I mean. And you call that country something is working? If our oil in the sea, in our deep seas, are being dug, are being drilled without the citizens knowing it, the information is coming all the way from Australia, my brothers and sisters. The information about your own natural resources, which is being drilled in your own waters, in your own country, that information you are getting it from no other place but Australia. Australia. They don't find it dignified to inform you about your own natural resources. You call that country something is working? And that's a country that you are rejoicing, people are rejoicing because of this court verdict? Well, it's okay. For me, it's okay. Because, as I said, I know, I believe it is not for me, it is not for UDP, it is for the nation, the country. And we shall live to experience what next. I am here talking, and I am going to agree and accept the decisions that the party leadership take. For I believe Hussein Numukunda Dabo is a decent citizen, a decent senior citizen. He has fought for that country all of his life. I know he is going to take a responsible steps. I know he is going to tell us to do something responsible. I know he will never venture in an irresponsible manner. That will never happen. That will never happen. That is the man, that is the leader that I believe in. That is the party that I believe in. I don't take United Democratic Party to be only a political party, but a formula for justice, for good justice in that country. A formula for good economic development for that country. A formula for unity for that country in that very diverse nation. United Democratic Party is a formula for unity in that nation, that country we call Gambia. For our brothers and sisters to come together as one and develop that nation. What is wrong in providing good healthcare system for a nation, for the citizens? What is wrong in providing good roads for the citizens? What is wrong to provide good job and good salary for the citizens of that country? What is wrong in that? Why are we scattered all around in the world? Because we don't have what we are supposed to have in our country. My fellow citizens, fellow brothers and sisters, particularly the United Democratic Party, let us be proud of ourselves. Let us be proud of what we have accomplished. Let us be proud what we will accomplish in the future. This is not the end. This is the beginning of the fight. And we are going to accomplish. We are going to accomplish very, very, very wonderful things for that nation. We are going to put that nation on the right track. For President Adama Barrow, if this court verdict, it should be the verdict for the country, so be it. Wish you the best of luck. Do what you promise for the country. My fellow brothers and sisters, I'm now at the office, and that means I will say bye-bye to you. Alaman sola kairola, alama banko tankala, alama banko sola kairola, alaman tankala katanin katatolma, alaman tankala masibo la o banko kan. Alawom mari. Banko, ni atra misal fe nyin judgment is the best for the country. So be it. If this is the best judgment, is the right judgment for the nation, so be it. If there is any other solution other than this judgment, and it's good for the nation, it's for the peace and tranquility of that nation, may it happen. May it happen, my fellow countrymen. I end here. And I say, as I said, this is not the end. This court judgment is not the end of our fight to make sure that the country is on the right track. But it is the beginning of the fight. It is the beginning of the fight to make sure this country is on the right track. We will never. I will never advise anybody, be it UDP, be it any other citizen who believe that, even if you are not UDP, but you believe that this nation is really not on the right track. My advice is, please, keep on fighting. Don't give up. Don't go back. We have to make sure our children, our grandchildren, get what they deserve in that nation. They should get what they deserve in that country and in that nation. Whether you are UDP or you are not UDP, let us fight together. Let us make sure we do what we are supposed to do for the nation. As I said, I'm now going to work, ready to go to the office. I greet you all. I say bye-bye. Thank you. Alaman Sula Cairo. Allah Barakabag. Thank you. Bye-bye.